You hear the sound of a child sobbing nearby.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
Possum! As you approach, you recognize the child. It is Possum, the little girl you helped earlier.
Oh no, she's crying.
What's wrong, Possum? Are you alright? What happened?
I went into town to buy some chicken soup for my grandma. I always try to reach home before dark, but this eve I lost my way, and I was attacked.
Attacked? A wolf attacked you?
No, not a wolf. A dwarf.
What's the difference?
For a moment, you were not sure you heard it correctly. A dwarf, did you say?
Uh-huh. He jumped out at me, took my food, and then ran away.
Listen, I'm gonna find this dwarf you said stole your food. You go back to your grandma's, understood? Possum nods, says a soft thank you, and heads back home.
Poor girl. Wow, she's like not living the high life right now.
Wow, Possum is not having good luck today.
Yeah. She's just losing stuff left and right.
Let's see if we can find this dwarf.
Hey, what's that up there?
There's that tree with the door built into it. Maybe.
It's the dwarf.
You watch a little man run out of the door, which has been built into the tree. You surmise that you found the culprit's home. The vague aroma of chicken soup confirms it. That fiend.
Rhythmic robber cancels it. Interrupted by King Graham.
Finding the door ajar, you curiously open it and step inside the tree. That is a weird sentence.
Cautiously, not curiously.
Hey, you started climbing in midair!
That's how King Graham works.
This starting at the top of the ladder thing is for lessons. That looks like chicken soup to me. You grab the handle of the bubbling pot of chicken soup and take it with you. See what's in this chest. You open the trunk and find a number of items that the dwarf has obviously stolen and stashed away. Among them are some gold coins that display the distinctive face of the first king. They could only have come from the magical chest of Daventry. Okay, so now, I don't think this next part is strictly necessary. But if we wait just a moment, you hear the sound of the door creaking, followed by someone descending the ladder in the next room. Thinking quickly, you hide in the trunk.
How do you know when there's an elephant in your treasure chest?
The lid won't close?
How do you know when there's King Graham in your treasure chest?
The lid's closed. The dwarf has entered his underground hovel. Hopefully, he won't discover you here in here. He doesn't notice that the soup's gone, I guess.
Oh, he noticed. He just doesn't care. He likes to stew about this sort of thing.
Sensing that the coast is... You sense that the coast is clear again. Let's close the chest. You close the chest.
It was awfully... And it was awfully...
Let's see.
Fortunate that the soup hadn't been eaten yet.
Well,
You caught a bit of potluck.
That was a very bad pun.
I think your puns have gone to pot. You might even say they're getting a bit potty.
No need to be
Looks
such a
like the
potty
door
mouth.
opened again after the dwarf left.
No one eats soup to such low levels, guys.
I'm just going to stew over
You
this.
hear
I
the
already
latch
made that
fall into
one.
place again as the door closes.
Okay. Yeesh, you're
Let's get outta here.
hard. You're a bit of a Gary Stew.
I wonder if my facepalm was actually audible.
I'm a student of the best punners.
Okay, you guys, knock it off. Okay, this must be Possum's grandma's
I don't get what your
house.
stew is.
You better be careful, you're in the soup now.
Welcome. Come in, please. Possum told me to expect you.
Grandma looks too weak to talk at length. Perhaps there's a way to make her feel better. Yeah,
Definitely
you probably
has
like
the
the
fear of
crucifix.
Give her the sugar cube.
Okay, now if you try to give it to her right now, it's a little too cold to serve to a frail old lady.
Got cold fast.
It's very cold out in Kalima at night. You place the now cold chicken soup over the crackling fire once more. After it heats up to eatable temperature, you remove it again. You offer the soup to Possum's grandma. Introduce yourself and wait courteously while the frail elderly lady eats the nourishing meal. When she is finished, she sets the empty bowl down elsewhere and turns her attention towards you.
If you would like to speak with me for a while, I would welcome your company. A person should never turn away a visitor, especially when she reaches the twilight of her life.
You can't help but feeling a sense of finality in the old woman's words.
You must have something in return for your kindness. You do not need to risk your safety for an old, worn-out woman like us. Look under the bed. You should find something to keep you a little warmer and curb like this.
You peer under the bed and find a thick black cloak lying atop of the beautiful ruby-encrusted ring. You pick both up with reverence. I could not possibly take these fine things from you.
Oh, please. I want you to have them. Knights in Kalima could, believe me. As for the ring, well, perhaps it is better that I do not have it to remind me.
As you wish. You have a charming granddaughter. Grandma smiles at you graciously.
She is a treasure to me. I would do anything to ensure that no harm comes to her.
If I may inquire, what became of her parents? Grandma frowns. Her eyes darken for a moment before she forces a melancholy smile to her face.
They were lost just many years ago. I'm afraid dear Possum never really knew your parents.
That must have been a daunting task, raising a child at your... especially at yours... I mean...
At my age, I'm certainly not as young as I used to be, and there is no shame in it. I've tried to raise her as best I could, to keep her safe and well. However, I fear as really that worse has come true.
If you please, I was hoping you might tell me the cloak and the ring's origin. The old woman closes her eyes as if the memory she seeks is painful to her sense.
They were my husband's. He was a proud man, the last of his line. His family had been rich, a great deal of road money, you might say. They lived in the castle you might have seen to the north. Its location upon that island is evidence of how much they value their privacy. He was a good man, my husband. He took care of me. Certainly he had a strange habit. Most men do, if you pardon me saying so. I suspect he practiced magic, although I never caught him in the act. He would frequently journey afar, taking that black cloak with him wherever he met to places he would not talk about. He said it represented something too important to a certain group of people, and I was never to mention it to anyone, especially except strangers who. But he was always there for me. I was that fateful night. We had been married just over a year, and I was heavy of childhood.
Don't look at.
Looks like she's carrying the child in her chest.
Came in a weird forced just late one night. The air was warm and in our year we paid little attention to its many dangers. Besides those from the we could see clearly enough. A shadow passed over us. We looked up thinking it might have been a straight cloud. It was not. It descended upon us like a demon. It was the largest, most hideous bat I had ever seen. Its fangs were bared and dove straight for me. Much was screaming. My husband flew from himself in front of me to protect me. He swung his arms around frantically in hopes of running the poor thing away. Perhaps he was trying to cast a spell, but could not recall how in his panic. It paid him no heed and would not be deterred. It swooped again and again, relentlessly. At one point, Esmond's hand must have clipped the bat's wing because it lost control and crashed into his shoulder. He tried to arrest the creature, but then he shrieked suddenly. The horrid thing had bitten him. He never did recover from that incident. He just faded with each passing hour. Within 2 days of the attack, my husband had died. We buried him in his family's plantation on the island. Sometimes when I sleep, I can feel him watching over me, guarding me, protecting me. I think he is waiting for my time to come so we can be together in ways.
The old lady seems to be dozing off. You can barely hear her final words.
I miss him so.
Telling the story has clearly taken a great deal out of her. You watch the old woman a moment and notice her labored breathing as she sleeps, despite the little girl's tireless daily efforts. Perhaps there is nothing more to be done.
Not a little house.
That is indeed as soft as it looks. It won't let me rearrange the furniture. Okay.
Dang it. What good
So
is a house if you can't arrange the furniture?
So,
Even if it doesn't belong to you.
her husband was bitten by a bat. And
Died.
meanwhile. Ooh. Meanwhile.
And still meanwhile.
I think that soundtrack controls the timing for some of these.
Sister Hag,
My dear, please.
the king has lived in killing my father. That is not what I meant. Well, it appears to be told by your verse. It seems his reputation was not totally exaggerated. He's still alive?
Why is Crystal doing both of these voices?
Well, how? But that will change soon, I think. The king has discovered that one of our gems is in possession of a colleague of ours. Do you remember Kaldura? Yes. Is he still trustworthy? Totally. Still sharp. And there's no question his loyalties. My humblest apologies, Father, but would it not have been simpler for you to have dealt with Grant personally? For what? Imagine if Grant, the ensuing chaos, were Davenshires king murdered in his own land. How then would I be able to search for the item? I see. Failure is not an option. Understood, Father. Keep me informed, preferably of good King Graham's death.
Oh, that's not creepy.
So they'll clear this an after tea party for you. Which is exactly why they wanted you dead. Dead. Because the best party goers are dead.
You open the mailbox and find it empty. That was a shot.
Interesting. So that application notice on me is gone?
Possum must have picked up the
probably
mail on
checked
her
her
way
mail.
home. Alright. So, I remember a creepy looking place earlier. We have to go to a creepy swamp with a castle in the north.